I was driven to do something to tell the story. And I let my kids go to a Jewish school. They learn Holocaust studies. Do they learn anything about the Jews of Greece? No. They had one book on Holocaust studies, so my son came home with the book. I said, right, let me have a look. I went, Greece, in the index. There was like a half a page, if that.
In September 2013, I travelled around Greece with my family and a film crew to share the story of the Greek Jews. Some time ago, I wrote a screenplay called Shira's Journey, which tells a modern story of a young filmmaker called Shira, set against the backdrop of Greece and the Holocaust. Much like the protagonist of my script, I set off on my journey to uncover some untold stories of the impact of the Holocaust on the Greek Jews.
Every second day, every third day, we left a transport from Salonika. There were many Jews here. There were about 54,000 Jews.
There are two main groups of Jews in Greece, the Romaniot and the Sephardic Jews. The Romaniot came to Greece at the fall of the Second Temple, around 70 CE, although there is evidence that there were some Jews settled in Greece even prior to this date. The Sephardim came to Greece in 1492 after their expulsion from Spain during the Spanish Inquisition. These two communities coexisted peacefully in Greece, even during the time of the Ottoman Empire. In 1940, some 80,000 Jews lived throughout Greece. Thessaloniki was home to the largest population of Greek Jews. In 1940, they numbered 56,500. This was almost half of the city's total population. Most of the Jews of Thessaloniki were Sephardim and spoke the Judeo-Spanish language known as Ladino. So significant was Thessaloniki's Jewish population that the city became known as the Mother of Israel. Even the port and many businesses were closed on the Jewish Sabbath and high holidays. Despite the outbreak of World War II in 1939, Greece remained removed from the conflict until 1940. The Greco-Italian War of 1940 saw Italy launch several unsuccessful attempts to invade Greece. The Greeks fought back, and the resistance effort brought the two sides to a stalemate by the end of that year. Aware of the failed Italian offensive, the Germans turned their attention towards Greece. The German advance into Greece via the Bulgarian border began on the 6th of April 1941. On the 9th of April 1941, Germany occupied Thessaloniki, and it was only a matter of months before the Nazi occupation had spread to most of Greece. Whilst Germany continued to administer major cities like Thessaloniki and Athens, other regions were given to fascist Italy and Bulgaria to oversee. In the summer of 1942, the persecution of the Jews of Thessaloniki began. Men aged between 18 and 45 were rounded up in the town's square and made to register for forced labor. They were beaten and humiliated by German soldiers on a day that became known as the Black Sabbath. The Jewish community was stripped of its wealth and pride as Jews were forced to wear the yellow star, and in 1943 were moved into the Baron Hirsch ghetto.
My grandfather, from the part of my mother, he stayed all alone here because we were obliged, were imprisoned for about a week before the first transport started for Auschwitz. And we were separated completely. But the Germans did not touch him. He felt so lonely that he had the courage to go to the German officer of police, of the SS police, not of the regular police. It's something completely different, regular police of Germany and SS police, to complain and saying that I am engineer so-and-so, I come from Carlsbad, and you have taken all my family, and I don't know where they are. And then he gave an order, take him and put him in the first wagon living. So he disappeared. He could stay alive. They did not take him, but on the last, nearly on the last transports, they put him on the car.
Really?
And because he went to complain.
And does anyone know what happened to him?
What happened to all of them?
In March 1943, the Jews of Thessaloniki were the first to be sent to the concentration camp Auschwitz-Birkenau. By August of that year, more than 50,000 Greek Jews had been deported from Thessaloniki.
Οι Γερμανοί μεταξύ είχαν πάρει από τη Θεσσαλονίκη 55 με 60.000 Εβραίους. Λοιπόν, η κοινότητα εδώ δεν μας έδωσε καμιά εξήγηση γιατί μαζεύουν τους Εβραίους από τη Θεσσαλονίκη. Εγώ τότε κάτι μου έβαλε ο νους μου και άρχισα να σκέφτομαι για να πήγω για την αντίθεση. Πιστεύω πως η κοινότητα έκανε πολύ μεγάλο λάθος. Μας μάζεψε μια φορά, μια νύχτα, μέσα στο κοινότητα δική μας. Μας μάζεψε στη συναγωγή και μας λέει μη φοβάστε από τους Γερμανούς, εμείς τους δίνουμε ό,τι θέλουν και μένουν ευχαριστημένοι από εμάς.
Το Μάρτιο αυτό ήταν πολύ κρύο. Χτυπάει η πόρτα δυνατά. Λέει η μητέρα μου κατέβα κάτω να δεις. Κατεβαίνω και βλέπω έναν χωροφύλακα και να λέει γρήγορα γρήγορα σε 5 λεπτά να είσαστε κάτω στο μόλο και πάρτε ό,τι τα απαραίτητα που θέλετε. Από όλη τη γειτονιά και από όλα τα Γιάννα που ήμασταν οι Εβραίοι ακουγόταν ένας οδυρμός, ένας χαλασμός που δεν μπορώ να το περιγράψω. Κλαίγανε οι μικρά παιδιά, φωνάζαν οι μάνες, κλαίγανε οι γριές, χτυπιόντουσαν στο κεφάλι. Εκεί βρήκαμε τους Γερμανούς να έχουν τα όπλα προτεταμένα για να ανεβούμε στα φορτηγά αυτοκίνητα.
Μπήκαν οι Γερμανοί στη Λάρισα και ο πατέρας μου μας πήρε όλη την οικογένεια και πήγαμε στο Πήλιο, πήγαμε σε ένα χωριό μακρινό να κρυφτούμε. Εκεί που ήμασταν επέμεινα εγώ πολύ να έρθω στη Λάρισα, να δω τη γειτονιά μου, τις φίλες μου. Ήθελα λίγο να δω τη Λάρισα. Δεν μ' άφηναν οι γονείς μου, αλλά εγώ επέμεινα πολύ και μ' άφησαν. Στις 2 μέρες που βρέθηκα εδώ, έγινε η σύλληψη των Εβραίων σε όλη τη Θεσσαλία. Ήταν 24 Μαρτίου το 1944 και η κυρία που έμενε στο σπίτι μου με πρόδωσε. Με πρόδωσε γιατί δεν ήμουν δηλωμένη και ρωτάει η κυρία αυτή, βγήκε στο μπαλκόνι και ρώτησε τους διερμηνείς ποιους μαζεύετε σήμερα. Λέει τους Εβραίους. Αχ, λέει, έχουμε κι εμείς εδώ το κοριτσάκι της πετεινοκοκυράς μας. Και γύρισαν οι Γερμανοί πίσω και με έπιασαν όπως ήμουνα με το νυχτικό που κοιμόμουνα. Με έπιασαν και με έβαλαν και εμένα στα καμιόνια που είχαν σταματήσει εδώ στη γωνία με όλους τους άλλους Εβραίους. Έφερναν και από άλλες πόλεις, από Βόλο, από Καρδίτσα, από Γιάννενα. Ήμασταν 3.000 Εβραίοι στο στρατόπεδο.
Ξέρετε ότι οι Εβραίοι θα είχαν αυτή τη μοίρα, δηλαδή ότι θα τους έπαιρναν στα στρατόπεδα? Ξέρατε καθόλου?
Κανένας δεν ήξερε τίποτα.
Nobody knew.
Μας έφερανε, μας αφήνανε. Μας έβανε συναγερμό λοιπόν. Μας αφήνανε. Τελευταία φορά
Πότε ήταν η τελευταία φορά που σας έπιασαν?
9 Ιουνίου. Πήγαμε στη Λευκάδα. Λευκάδα, Πάτρα, μετά στο Βερέα, μετά μας πήραν στο Χαϊδάρι.
By September 1943, the Germans controlled all of Greece. The Jews were sent to Auschwitz-Birkenau via intricately coordinated transportation routes. From Thessaloniki, they were sent directly to Auschwitz-Birkenau by train. The communities of Yanina, Trikala and Volos were sent to Larissa and held captive in a temporary camp where they joined the Jews of Larissa who were already incarcerated. Transportation from Corfu was by boat to Lefkada, then Patras and on to Athens. The Jews of Rhodes and Kos reached Athens by boat as well. The Jewish prisoners of Crete were put on a boat bound for Athens, but the boat was torpedoed shortly after they set out. Everyone on board perished. It was later discovered that it was a British torpedo that sunk the boat, as the Allies believed it to be carrying German soldiers and arms back to the mainland. From Athens, the Jews were transported directly to Auschwitz-Birkenau by rail. People were packed into cattle cars under extremely adverse conditions. Many died before ever reaching the concentration camp.
The Germans realized immediately that they have a problem. And their problem was that these people that arrived did not speak German. They did not understand. They just gave the order, they did not understand. And then Kaduk said, who speaks German? To make one pace forward. And my family, all the 4 of us, made one pace forward and no one else in the whole wagon.
The Kunios were a Jewish family of Thessaloniki, with a difference. Heinz's mother Hella was born in a German-speaking part of Czechoslovakia, and the family spoke German fluently. This detail was to be the key to their survival.
And we were officially named translators.
And you continued to do that for every transport
For every
that
Greek
came
transport. For every Greek transport that arrived. And there were transports for a few months, and then after arrived also transports from Athens. Again, we were on the ramp, and again we gave the orders, etc., etc. It was a real picture of hell.
Μετά από τόσα χρόνια βλέπω, πώς να σας εξηγήσω, οπτασίες το βράδυ εκεί που κοιμάμαι. Βλέπω που βρίσκομαι όνειρο στο Auschwitz. Εικόνες. Έχασα 40 άτομα από την οικογένειά μου.
Αυτό είναι το νούμερο του Auschwitz. Στο Μπρεσλάου άλλο νούμερο εδώ. Στο Ματχάουζεν άλλο νούμερο.
Και εγώ το ξέρω στα γερμανικά, ζύψεν, σκουντέρφι, φοντράιτσι. Στα γερμανικά, ζύψεν, σκουντέρφι, φοντράιτσι, στα γερμανικά.
Στο Βόλο ζούσαμε με μεγάλη αγάπη και αρμονία με τους Ισραηλίτες. Εγώ δεν είχα μια εξαιρετική και εγκάρδια φιλία, διότι ήμασταν και συμμαθητές με τον Αλβέρτο Βίκτορος Πολίτη, που είναι εδώ στη φωτογραφία. Είχαμε μεγάλο σύνδεσμο και με την οικογένειά μου και η οικογένεια του Αλβέρτο. Και μάθαν δηλαδή, ότι πρόκειται να γίνει διωγμός. Με παρεκάλεσαν αν υπάρχει κάποια αποθήκη να αποθηκεύσουν τα εμπορεύματα του καταστήματος του Βίκτορας Πολίτη, του πατέρα δηλαδή του Αλβέρτου και του αδερφού, που είχαν στην οδό Ερμού κατάστημα ιαλικών και άλλων ψυγικών. Ένα βράδυ, χωρίς να ειδοποιήσουν και κανέναν, μου λέει ο Αλβέρτος, δεν θα σου πούμε τάξο πότε θα φύγουμε. Φύγανε και αφήσαν το σπίτι έτσι δά. Μόνο μου δώσανε κλειδιά και αλυσίδες να το κλείσω. Συνεχεία με τους οικογένεια Πολίτου και με τον Αλβέρτο επικοινωνούσαμε με έναν χωρικό της περιοχής που είχαν καταφύγει, που έρχονταν στο Βόλο, του δίναν και χρήματα και σημείωμα και τους ψώνιζα τρόφιμα ή άλλα είδη.
Μετά τον πόλεμο πώς ξαναβρεθήκατε με την οικογένεια?
Με την οικογένεια, μετά που φύγανε οι Γερμανοί, ήρθαν οι άνθρωποι, βρήκανε και το σπίτι τους και τα πράγματά τους, τα παρέδωσα όπως τα είχα παραλάβει από την αποθήκη του πατέρα μου.
Καταλαβαίνετε πόσο επικίνδυνο ήταν να κρύψετε τους Εβραίους και να τους βοηθήσετε τότε?
Δεν μπορώ να πω ότι ήταν και επικίνδυνο. Είχαμε τότε μυαλό να σκεφτούμε αν είναι επικίνδυνο.
Many Jews of Volos were saved. Chief Rabbi Pesach and the Greek Orthodox Bishop Joachim warned the community of its imminent capture and organized with the help of the partisans for the Jews to be hidden in mountain villages. On the island of Zakynthos, Mayor Lucas Carrere and Orthodox Bishop Chrysostomos refused to hand over the list of Jews. All the Jews of Zakynthos survived in hiding. Chief Rabbi Barzillai in Athens also destroyed Jewish community lists. Orthodox Archbishop Damaskinos wrote a letter to the Greek Prime Minister condemning the persecution of the Jews and ordered the churches under his jurisdiction to distribute Christian baptismal certificates to Jews fleeing the Nazis. In Corfu, despite the fact that the mayor was a German collaborator, there were Jews saved by caring Greek citizens. Many Greek Christians risked their lives to protect their Jewish neighbors and friends.
Larissa had a big percentage of Jews who were saved during the...
What was the percentage?
The total population, the Jewish population before the war was 1,000 members, 1,020. 235 people were arrested from those. That means the rest of them escaped.
Yeah.
They escaped earlier.
Were they helped to escape by the Christians and the...
Yes.
Από την...
Βοήθησαν πάρα πολύ οι Έλληνες and the partisans.
The partisans, yeah.
They were helped by the partisans.
We have help.
And, and also, if I may add to that, the Jewish community of Larissa was not a ghetto. They had very good
integrated.
Yes, with the Christians in Larissa. So they had friends, and most of them were merchants.
Yeah.
And they had friends and people who worked with that lived in the villages around the city. I'm saying that because many people, when they tell their story, how they were saved, they say that I used to work with Mr. this and that who lived in a village out there. I used to work, so they had such close connections that the people, their friends, were willing to hide them in their homes, which was very dangerous. So it is a very important for Larissa that the community was not a ghetto, never was.
Despite almost 800 Jews of Larissa being saved, community numbers dwindled steadily after the war. Even though such a large percentage of the Greek Jewish population had perished, little was known in the wider community about the fate of the Greek Jewish Holocaust victims. Fear, suspicion, economic hardship, and civil war relegated their tragic history to the horrors of a time that people seemed all too ready to forget. I chatted to second-generation Holocaust survivor Solomon Herrera, who, like so many others, was at a loss to explain how this void came about.
Why was there so much silence about it after the war? Because when I started researching it, there was so little available, so little information. And the more I researched and the more I found out and spoke to people, the more people would say to me, what are you talking about? Jews in Greece, Holocaust. They knew nothing about it, nothing. And I've always had this question, why?
I have no answer to give you. I have no answer to give you because, always what we had in face here in Greece especially was that, as we said before, nobody spoke about it. They didn't want to speak about it.
They don't want to, no. Did they speak and now they've had enough? Or
no.
They never wanted to speak?
No, they never. Even my mother-in-law, she wouldn't speak, you couldn't take a word out of her. And just by chance, with my son, he had asked her, what did you do in Auschwitz? And she started speaking, just like that. And he had the smartness that he had a little tape recorder, and he opened it, and he recorded what he was saying. We wrote it all in 2 pages. That was all. This event of 70 years of the first train to Auschwitz, they gave so much importance.
Yeah.
Because they just wanted to open the event to the people.
Yes.
Because there were even people of Salonika, so what had happened?
Yeah, right.
Even people that were living in the next door.
There were some who talked, but there were so few. And on the other hand, Greece, in the case of Thessaloniki, tried to harmonize the city and be sure that nobody would have any question about the city belonged to Greece, so that they erased whatever remembrance and monuments and Jewish character of the city ever existed. Nobody talked about that. Nobody talked to the children at school the history of the city. If you saw the tourist guides of the city 15 years ago, 5 years ago, you would have a small, some lines on the history of the city. And so it went. The Macedonians, Alexander the Great, Byzantium, and then Thessaloniki becomes Greek in 1912. In between, there's nothing. 400 years of Ottoman Empire, Jewish Salonika, it doesn't exist. So, and this is how it went until the new municipality came in Thessaloniki, and the official way of thinking of Thessaloniki changed. So totally.
Most of the survivors moved to Athens. When you say survivors, you mean those who returned from Auschwitz, or
both
survivors like me?
Who were in hiding, yeah.
Hiding, yes.
Yeah.
Most came to Greece, to Athens. That's why Athens has increased the Jewish population after the war, comparing with before the war, because people came from the lost communities or from other alive communities to find better life.
It was a very difficult situation. And then, because the community in Patras was finished, we came in Athens.
So were most of the people in Patras saved?
No.
Deported?
No. About 50 persons we came back. I don't remember how many we were before
Right.
I don't remember. Everything from Patras synagogue is in the museum.
Oh, so we'll see it tomorrow.
Yes. It's
And
very
today,
nice.
nothing.
Today, nothing.
The museum was created as a teaching museum, and its mission is to be a showcase for the very long existence of the Greek Jewish community. You know, they were the first communities to be created on European soil, the Greek Jewish communities. So we have a very important story to tell. But further to that, you know, our educational programs cover all the subjects of acquaintance and exploration of a Jewish community, also of a religious community within a larger host community, because this is what we are here in spite of the very long presence that we mark in Greece. But further to that, we have programs that are related to humanistic issues, democracy issues, social equality and justice, and Holocaust education.
And the groups that come through here, are they mainly non-Jewish kids?
Yes. Although we cater to the Jewish groups from Athens and other cities as well, yes, this is an extrovert organization turned towards the general society, and our message is aimed mainly, although not neglecting anyone else, to the general public. Here is very important because the message about the multicultural past of Greece that we put forth is very significant for what Greece is going through right now. I'm sure you know that there is social unrest and a lot of messages that are very extreme and preach hatred again and marginalization and you know, putting some people on target and this kind of thing. So we feel that all of us can do something against this climate. We can all work together and individually to bring a message of love and inclusion.
The main job that KISS is involved is to fight the anti-Semitism. This is the main goal and the main job that we have to do. And we fight the anti-Semitism in many aspects, either with some publications or replying to several bad or good news against the Jews in Greece. As you probably know, anti-Semitism is a very big problem now in Greece, and not only anti-Semitism, but also the rise of the extreme, very, very extreme political party, which is a neo-Nazi party, and the name is Golden Dawn.
Greece's right-wing political party, Golden Dawn, was founded in 1985 by Nikos Michaloliakos. The party's nationalistic and anti-immigrant policies feed off the desperation of Greek citizens, whose hardships began with the economic crisis and continue with severe austerity measures. Desecration of Jewish cemeteries, attacks on Jewish cultural centers, and anti-Semitic graffiti throughout Greece are believed to be the work of Golden Dawn supporters.
They're really neo-Nazis, and there were so many obvious things went out to the public press, it was common knowledge. Everywhere you would turn, you would see like a guy in the parliament has a tattoo, a swastika. So, what are you thinking? But I don't think people are thinking in Greece anymore. They're just reacting.
During the last elections, May and June 2012, they got 18 seats in the parliament. In other words, they were voted by 410,000 Greek citizens. As far as the Jewish communities in all over Greece, we don't have direct or physical assaults, but from time to time we receive several verbal assaults. For example, in the parliament and outside of the parliament, they deny clearly the Holocaust. And this is very bad for us and also for our people who are still alive and they have the experience of Auschwitz and other concentration camps.
Is the community very afraid now of the
Of
situation?
course, all the Jews are quite afraid because they see the scenario again to come after 70 years. I never thought, even in my worst dreams, that this could happen again.
Right.
That there are some people that they can deny Holocaust, that they can be so cruel again after what happened.
Yeah. Do you think that they'll outlaw the party? Can they outlaw the party?
I don't think they will. I don't think they will.
Do you think they should?
No, because if they should do something like that, it would be just provoking the opposite result.
It's a democracy. It's not like that. You cannot say that a party has not a right to exist. No, all the parties have a right to exist, but they have to follow the rules. They have to act inside the law.
Εμένα με πονάει αυτό το πράγμα που βλέπω, γιατί νόμιζα ότι ο κόσμος θα είχε καταλάβει και αυτά να μην ξαναγίνουν πια. Όμως δυστυχώς τα βλέπω που ξαναγίνονται και αυτό με στεναχωράει και με πονάει.
We're in very close and good cooperation with the government, also with the opposition party and the other parties, to try to persuade them that we need a special law, anti-racist law, and this will be our success if we do it. This tragic event that happened a few days ago probably will help.
In September 2013, Pavlos Fissas, a rap musician known for his bold anti-fascist songs, was murdered by Golden Dawn supporters. Despite a history of violent attacks on Greece's immigrant community, this was the first murder of a Greek-born citizen to be linked to Golden Dawn. Party leader Michaloliakos was imprisoned in connection with the murder. The party was now led by Ilias Kassidiaris.
We shouldn't be relaxed. We have to be aware and we have to continue spreading the story, the history, not only for our sake, not only for the Jews' sake, but for the sake of all the people of the world.
In the local elections of May 2014, Kassidiaris received 16% of the total vote, placing fourth for the position of mayor of Athens. In that same month, Golden Dawn won 3 seats in the European Parliament. I discussed the ramifications of this disturbing political climate with Zanet Batinu.
Well, I am by nature an optimist, and having studied archaeology, that comes in a package with history, of course. So that I can tell you, my personal view is that this is a sign of the times. In times of crisis and strife, such extreme phenomena, social and political, rise and come to the forefront. And they cause fear and consternation to some people, and I don't know, I guess pride and hope to some others. I would not be moved to speak against them. Our work here at the museum has been steady in the past 15 years since we are in these premises. We continue on a momentum. We are not reacting to something that happened 5 minutes ago, because this is how we work. And it is because of this momentum that we can be somewhat effective and we can see some results which really make us hopeful for the future. So I want to give this message that this will come and go, this time will come and go. How we conduct ourselves during this time is very important.
Πιστεύετε ότι θα έρθει η εποχή που θα φοβόμαστε πάλι να πούμε ότι είμαστε Εβραίοι?
Ελπίζω ότι όχι. Βέβαια τα πράγματα είναι δύσκολα, αλλά ελπίζω ότι όχι, γιατί σε ό,τι αφορά την Χρυσή Αυγή και οι ίδιοι θα πληροφορούνται ότι πλέον υπάρχει, θα έλεγα σχεδόν καθολική αντίδραση του ελληνικού λαού. Κατά συνέπεια πιστεύω ότι αυτός ο ρόλος αυτής της οργάνωσης θα συρρυκνωθεί. Αυτή είναι η ελπίδα μας βέβαια. Πώς να ξέρουμε τις εξελίξεις. Tradition is being lost. That's for sure. And we are very, 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 very few that we are trying to keep the tradition. And that's the main problem. We are not a religious community. Besides Rosh Hashanah, Kippur, or Simchat Torah, I don't know, you won't find any people in the synagogue.
Shabbat, not.
Well, Shabbat in the morning, maybe you'll find about 20, 30 at the utmost.
Mathematically and logically, the community one day is going to disappear. But I don't want to believe this. I don't want to take this on account. And I feel that, that after the war, where 96% of the Jewish community of Thessaloniki disappeared, the community was recreated and still exists. And I just think that it will continue to exist. It's a very too important history to be lost.
והיה לנו 5,000 יהודים בנו 3 בתי כנסת. במלחמת השנייה הכל נהרס, רק זאתי נשארה וזאתי 400 שנה בית הכנסת. והיה לנו לפני המלחמה 2,200 יהודים, 10 משפחות חיברו אותם באיזה כפר, והיתר 2,000 הלכו לאושוויץ. חזרו 180, עכשיו אנחנו 60 איש. 60? איפה גרים כולם? פה בסביבה. מתפללים רק בחגים, מביאים חזן מירושלים. ולפני המלחמה היה לנו הכל. בית ספר יהודי, מאפייה, אוכל כשר, הכל. עכשיו רק את בית הכנסת, זה ספרדי, כמובן, ולפני המלחמה היה אורתודוקס. הנשים ישבו למעלה בבלקון, היה לנו מדרגות מבחוץ, אבל אחרי המלחמה סגרנו, אנחנו יושבים ביחד, אבל נפרד.
Today, there are 9 official Jewish communities in Greece, administered by the Central Board of Jewish Communities. They include Athens, Chalkida, Corfu, Yanina, Trikala, Volos, Larissa, Thessaloniki, and Rhodes. The total Greek Jewish population today is around 5,000, with the majority living in Athens. It is not only the official communities that continue Jewish traditions. In Chania, on the island of Crete, our photographer Emmanuel Santos and I discussed Chania's unique present-day community with Nikos Stavroulakis.
I've got a kind of community. It's not definable.
Yes.
You know, it's made of Muslims, a couple of Muslims, Greek Orthodox, some Catholics, and some secularized Jews.
Yeah. And visitors.
And if you get sucked into it, you know, you're stuck.
Do you run events here and everyone comes? You run a Shabbat kind of thing?
Every Friday night. We have we do the traditional Sephardic liturgy for Friday night, you know, which is unoffensive to anybody. Mm. You know, it asserts the unity of God, you know, the unity of existence, you know, the responsibility we have to each other, you know, within this. And I found that Friday nights, for me, it's the most important time of the week, when we're with the community and we do things like Lech Adoni and, you know, Hamdul Adonai, and, you know, because it's very inclusive.
Mm. And so you have like a regular group who comes and...
People come. Once in a while I'm all by myself. But that's okay.
Yeah.
You know. No, it works.
It's really something that everybody's trying to see what's going to happen to that community. But the answer is a great question mark.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen. I believe we survive once again.
Yeah.
As always.
Yeah.
But
in a small way, maybe.
Yeah.
Ήμουνα 13 και μισό χρόνο όταν μας πήρανε και δεν περνάω όλο το χρόνο στη Ρόδο. Περνάω, ας πούμε, μισό χρόνο στη Ρόδο γιατί είναι το μέρος που γεννήθηκα και το άλλο μισό χρόνο το περνάω στην Ιταλία που εκεί έχω πάλι κάτι που είναι για να πω στα παιδιά τι έγινε στο Auschwitz. Εγώ ψάχνω να μεταδώσω στα παιδιά, προπαντός στην καινούρια γενιά, να μην ξαναγίνουν πια αυτά τα πράγματα. Αυτό είναι το δύο λόγια, να μην ξαναγίνουν πια. Δηλαδή, κάνω ό,τι μπορώ, όμως εγώ δεν μπορώ να αλλάξω τον κόσμο. Αυτή είναι ένα πράγμα που τα παιδιά, προπαντός η νέα γενιά πρέπει να καταλάβει, γιατί η νέα γενιά είναι που προσπαθήσει να μην γίνουν αυτά τα πράγματα. Όταν μιλάω εγώ στα παιδιά, δεν μιλάω μόνο για τα 6 εκατομμύρια Εβραίοι. Μιλάω και για τα άλλα 5 εκατομμύρια που είδα με τα μάτια μου που πεθάνανε. Ήτανε ομοσεξουέλ, άνθρωποι που δεν έχουν πόδια, τζίγκανοι, πολιτικοί. Αυτά τα μάτια μου τα είδανε. Και λοιπόν όταν μιλάω στα παιδιά, δεν μιλάω μόνο για ένα πράγμα. Μιλάω για τα 11 εκατομμύρια. 6 εκατομμύρια Εβραίοι και 5 εκατομμύρια από άλλοι άνθρωποι. Κάποιος που ζει σε αυτή την κόλαση έχει μια υποχρέωση και εγώ κατάλαβα ότι αυτό πρέπει να κάνω μέχρι στο τέλος μου. Traer a ese particular, traer en vida un esqueleto era muy difícil. Yo creo que una parte la hizo la doctoresa rusa y la grande parte la hizo para que quede uno algo para poder contar.
מבית